TikTok is the greatest means of psychological warfare the 21st century has ever seen. Let's first examine the established facts. Firstly, that TikTok is having an actively detrimental effect on the American attention span, worse so than any other form of social media. By prioritizing extreme short-form video clips, TikTok minimizes engagement with content and conditions developing brains to expect nearly unlimited short-term gratification. As evidence, look towards a 2021 Microsoft-sponsored study which quantifies that the average American attention span has shrunk to 8 seconds, shorter than that of a goldfish. You can also corroborate this by speaking to a Zoomer for 15 seconds. Let's explain why this is concerning in the context of the US-China conflict. The primary problem a democratic society faces when in conflict with an authoritarian one is information control. By nature of it being reliant on some level of open discourse, the human capital of a democratic society is far harder to marshal than the human capital of an autocratic one. In an autocratic society, when the party says jump, the citizenry says how high, or they get shot. In a democratic society, when the government says jump, 30% of the population immediately sits down, a further 20% question whether they should jump with 2 legs or with 1, and 10% inevitably deny that humans are biologically capable of jumping. And then they all switch positions the next election cycle. However, when all factions in a democratic society unify towards a singular purpose, its potential far exceeds what is possible for authoritarianism to muster. The greatest power of a democracy is that upon reaching consensus, the majority of citizens consent to grant the state power and exercise of power over themselves, rather than an authoritarian state forcing itself onto the citizens. Thus arises the genius of TikTok. Decreased attention spans leads to lessened ability to comprehend information, which leads to less complex information being circulated in media and discourse, which leads to greater simplification, which leads to more generalization, which leads to oversimplified populist political discourse. Our current factionalized political landscape is a direct result of our decreasing attention spans and will continue to fragmentalize and worsen in the decades to come. TikTok is a toxin designed specifically to atrophy the greatest strength of democracy, those rare moments of unity. And we are letting it in, craving it, addicted to it. A development which, as a sufferist, I fully support. Glory to the CCP.